A sweeping rollout of national projects in Kakamega County. Speaking during his tour, Mwaura announced that the Kenya shillings 700 million Ekolomani gold mine will now be fully overseen by the national government, with revenues shared among the state, the county administration, and the local community. He further revealed that more than 24 mega projects, including roads, bridges, airstrips, and affordable housing units, and also industrial parks, are currently underway as part of efforts to accelerate economic growth in the region.
So the various projects include the gold processing company, a factory here, roads, bridges, airstrips, modern markets, affordable housing, water supply, industrial parks, fishing and energy projects, amongst other ongoing across the 4 counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Vihiga, and Busia. Today, we are here as the Office of the Government spokesperson. Our efforts is to ensure that these projects, for the residents of Kakamega, we'll be able to help them to appreciate the government's efforts. So the various projects include the gold processing company, a factory here, roads, bridges, airstrips, modern markets, affordable housing, water supply, industrial parks, fishing and energy projects, amongst other ongoing across the 4 counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Vihiga, and Busia. Today, we are here as the Office of the Government spokesperson. Our efforts is to ensure that these projects, for the residents of Kakamega, we'll be able to help them to appreciate the government's efforts.
And across the country, thousands of Kenyans turned out for the National Police Service one-day recruitment drive held at the 427 centers, but the exercise was not without challenges. After a High Court ruling lifted an earlier suspension, the race to fill 10,000 police constable positions kicked off early this morning, and in Baringo turnout remained surprisingly low, while many hopefuls were turned away for lacking minimum academic qualifications. In Kisii, Nyamira, and Bomet counties, some former NYS trainees expressed disappointments after failing to secure an automatic advantage they believed their service would provide. Meanwhile, IPOA has deployed officers nationwide to monitor the process and to ensure transparency and fairness.
We have not had any ugly incident except for one certified ex-NYS disgruntled member who did not meet the qualification and decided to throw tantrums around before he was removed from the recruitment center.
Mimi hapa kila siku natolewa wakisema mimi ni mfupi. Kwa nini? Mimi nimeona mapolisi kama mimi wafupi. Mbona watu wengine wanatoa hapa hivi? Mbona hiyo si ni corruption ilifanyika kama wanasema mimi ni mfupi na watu wengine wako kama mimi. Kwani hao watu wengine walitumia nini ndio wakaingia kama mimi?
And still in police recruitment in Nyamira County, excitement filled the air as hundreds of aspiring officers arrived before sunrise for today's nationwide police recruitment. The exercise, part of a nationwide effort to bolster the country's security, was held at Nyamira Primary, where the recruitment panel chair, Daniel Ngetich, assured candidates and the public that the process would remain open, free, and fair. The National Police Service say it is committed to transparency as it seeks to fill 10,000 new positions across the country.
I'm Daniel Ngetich, the chair of the recruiting panel at Nyamira South Primary School. We arrived here early in the morning around 6, and we got a good number of recruits, those who are coming to try their luck. Despite the fact that the turnout is not as expected, but we got a good number of 400 recruits, and we've gone on very well. We started with checking of their documents and the eligibility that had been advertised, the selection criteria that the National Police is following, and so far so good. We've done well. We are now in the stage of physical fitness. Then we head to medical, and then we now get to the number. We are targeting to recruit a good number of officers from this place, especially those ones from NYS. And so far so good. We have a good number of them, and we'll make sure that all the selection criteria have been followed, fairness and everything that is under the Constitution, that is chapter 232 of the Constitution is followed, so that we get the best for the National Police Service. Otherwise, all since morning, we've been doing very well.
And now a bold call to action is emerging from Kisii County, where woman Representative Doris Donya Aburi is spearheading a fresh campaign against escalating cases of teenage pregnancy and gender-based violence. Addressing the press at her office, Aburi revealed ongoing engagements with girls aged 15 and above, many of them survivors of abuse or early pregnancy. She urged the government to enforce stricter legal action against perpetrators and announced a bill she has tabled to strengthen penalties for GBV offenders. Aburi further pledged to support school re-entry programs for young mothers and to ensure they are enrolled in health insurance schemes to safeguard their well-being and that of their infants.
Wa leo watoto wako defile, na kwa sababu wenye wanafanya hili tendo watoto wanasema hapo walinitoroka, wengine wakaniblock, they are not supporting the children. Mimi naona ingewezekana tu yule mwanaume anapatikana na defile afanyiwe hii castration, juu afanyie msichana moja ana defile hapa, anaenda na defile. Wamejaza watoto wengi wenye maisha yao tutawaribu hapo mbeleni, na mnaweza pata ni wagonjwa. It is so wrong that ndio kitu ifanyike. Hebu tuangalie nchi zingine kama ng'ambo, wao wanatupigia simu wanasema hizi nchi tunaishi, they protect the children more than the parents, they protect the women more than anything. Hawa watu wanajua mtu hawezi kukupiga hata slap. Sasa huku nchi yetu tumewachilia mtu ana defile, ni kama tu jogo inatoka boma hii kienda boma ingine. It has to be a harsh penalty. Ndo watoto wetu wasiishi namna hii. Wamekuja na wazazi wao, wazazi hata hawana uwezo, mumejionea uzuri. So you are fathers, I know fathers, you love your daughters. Ukisikia mtoto wako amedefailiwa, utapiga makofi useme huyo mama ameongea mbaya, tufinywe. Mfinywe kabisa, yani kama inawezekana mtu unafinywa mpaka unasikia uchungu umefinywa. Ndo watu waache kudefaile hao watu. It has to be harsh. And by the way, I have my sexual offences bill. It went through the first reading, inakuja the second reading. Hiyo ina propose tunakuwa na all sensitization yote inafanyika kwa mashule, awareness, watoto wanafunzwa, hakuna mtu anakufanyia FGM. Hii mambo ya teen pregnancy mnaambiwa life after it, how to do the prevention. So the bill is about to task the Ministry of Education ifanye public awareness in all schools, watoto wajue about this thing. Juu kuna wale ukuwa defiled immediately wanaoga, wanaharibu evidence. Na wale wenye wana defile wanaambiwa utafungwa forever, watakosa kufanya hili jambo. So that is why we call these kids around. Serikali itawapeleka shule, watakuwa registered free for SHA, so that their kids can access any service they need from.
And now a political storm is brewing in Nyamira County after former Member of Parliament Vincent Kemosi accused his successor Stephen Mogaka of failing to allocate bursary funds to Bosiango Secondary School during the last financial year. Speaking at a funeral in Bosiango village, Kemosi claimed the school received no NG-CDF support, triggering backlash from the constituency's CDF fund manager Samson Mayaka. Mayaka. Mayaka dismissed the allegations as political misinformation, asserting that official records show the school received Kenya shillings 381,000. The revelations have now ignited debate over transparency and political rivalry in the management of constituency development funds in Nyamira County.
Nimekuja hapa leo kuhubiri kwa sababu ya kujibu mjumbe mwenye alikuwa hapo awali Honorable Kemosi, wakati alikuwa huko Busiango kwa mazishi fulani, akasema Mheshimiwa Steve apeani pasali. Mimi nataka kumjibu vizuri, kumwambia sisi hapa kwa ofisi tulipeana pasali ya milioni 44 na kila mwanafunzi mwenye aliitisha pasali alipata. Kama bosi yangu nilisikia huyo mheshimiwa akisema alipigia mwalimu mkuu akamwambia pasali haikupeanwa. So nataka kuambia watu wetu kwamba tulitoa pasali huko Busiango ya shilingi 1380. Hiyo inamaanisha wale watoto wote ambao walitoa maoni wanataka pasali wote walipata. Na nataka kuambia huyo mheshimiwa kwamba kama anataka kutafuta kura aje kutumia uongo kutafuta kura. Na tulimepigia principal kujua kwamba yeye ndiye alimuelezea vile alisema alimpigia kura, alimpigia simu. Principal tumempigia amesema yeye hata hawajawahi ongea na huyo mheshimiwa. Kwa hivyo hiyo mambo alikuwa anaongea huko kwa mazishi ni mambo ya uongo. Na nataka kuambia wanasiasa, kama unataka kupata mileage ya siasa, wacha kutumia uongo kudanganya watu. Vile niko hapa saa hii nitawaonyesha hizi. Wakati tulipeana pasali, tuliambia walimu wote, principals walete receipts zenye walikatia wanafunzi wakati walipata. Na hizo receipts zote sababu yangu siko hapa na tunajua hao watoto wote walipata pasali. Na hata ukiangalia hapa, hii ni acknowledgement letter ilitoka kwa shule na inaonyesha vizuri sana tulipeana 308,000. Na huko kwa hiyo shule bado tuko na watoto watatu ambao wanalipiwa na CDF pesa yote, wako kwa full scholarship. Na ninajua vizuri sana katika hiyo regime iliyopita hizo vitu hawakuwa na, hata hiyo mambo ya scholarship hata ukiwauliza hawakuwa nayo. Lakini mheshimiwa ako na hiyo mpango kwa wale watoto ambao hawajiwezi, wanapewa pesa, wanalipiwa pesa school fees yote kwa jumla. So mimi nataka kuapili kwa leaders wale ambao wanataka kura saa 2027 watumie ukweli na watumie excuse. Na waambie watu ni nini watawafanyia. Waache kusema vitu ambavyo ni sawa.
And now in Migori County, optimism ran high as hundreds of young people from Suna East flocked to Kadika Comprehensive School for the National Police Recruitment Exercise. Led by Senior Officer Nicholas Nderutu, the process drew a significant number of NYS service graduates who were given priority during the initial assessments. For many of the intershastic youths, joining the police service represents a long-awaited opportunity for employment and national service as the government seeks to strengthen security and create jobs for the country's growing youth population.
Original Form 4 certificate. Na nimwambie, we are not recruiting graduates. Sawa? Lakini kama wewe ni graduate na unataka kazi, hatutakufukuza. Ni kumaanisha tunataka kitu gani? Good. Form 4 certificate. Hata kama wewe ni graduate, we have no problem. But nimesema we are recruiting police constable. Watu ya NYS wako hapa? NYS inua mkono. Mimi nataka mkono juu. What we are Suna East. This time we are very fortunate. The government has considered X. Nimesema X, sio ile ana train X NYS. Wanatikikana kuingia 4,000 out of 10,000. Sio ni namba kubwa. So wale wako hapa wako na bahati. Wacha niseme hivyo kwa sababu nimeona ni wachache. Na yao ni tofauti. Hata recruitment yao tutafanya tofauti. Kwa sababu yao ni special. This time it's special. Sawa? So ukiona tumeweka watu ya NYS kado ni kwa sababu hata form zao zile wanajaza na kila kitu it's different.
Now, regional integration and economic expansion are taking center stage as the 25th East African Business Exhibition concludes with strong calls for deeper cooperation among member states. Leaders attending the event emphasized on the need for collective strategies to strengthen trade networks and to create more employment opportunities across East Africa. Speaking during the closing ceremony, Cabinet Secretary for Micro and Small Enterprises, Wycliffe Oparanya, urged governments to unlock entrepreneurial opportunities for the youth, saying this remains the most effective path to addressing the region's growing unemployment crisis.
Here in Kenya, we have also established the MSME Connect, which is a platform that the Kenyan government is interacting with the stakeholders in the MSME sector so that we are able to listen to them, to see what their problems are, and if there is need for policy, government to come up with a policy in a respective area, to come up with a regulation, to come up with the legislation, we do so that this economy, this sector is able to grow.
Sababu ya malengo manne, lakini mawili kati ya malengo ilikuwa ni soko la pamoja na umoja wa forodha. Tulipo hapa siku ya leo tunaona hizi biashara ndogo zinaendelea hapa, inathibitisha kwamba maono ya wale waanzishi wa jumuiya yalikuwa ni ya kufana.
It is now 23 minutes into the hour and Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. is taking a commercial break. Don't go anywhere because when we come back we have more for you, including the Nyamira County members of the County Assembly are taking another effort to oust their Governor Amos Nyaribo. This and more on Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. with Chemutai Kirui after the break. Is a strive everybody longs for. Human beings will spend their time online searching remedies for conditions challenging them. Some will go to medical facilities seeking medical help, while others will use herbal means to keep their health hazards. I am Chemutai Kirui, and every week on Afya Yetu, we open the doors for life-changing conversations from wellness and nutrition, preventing diseases, managing chronic illnesses, and even mental health. We bring expert advice, real-life stories, and practical solutions that touch every part of your life. Join me, Chemutai Kirui, on Ndizi TV Africa Afya Yetu Health Show every Friday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and be part of the change.
Check it out. What's up, my beautiful people? They call me Ems Manvoke, and this month on the 28th, Ndizi TV Africa pamoja na Camel Park wanakuletea chill party and talent show auditions live hapa ndani ya Camel Park, na kiingilio ni shilingi 200 peke yake per head. Alafu saidia kama umeweza kulipa that 200 Kenya shillings, unapata free swimming. In the same time, kama ni mzazi kwa pale nyumbani, unaweza leta watoto wako wakuja waweze kujienjoy. Tuko na bouncing castle, tuko na water balloons, tuko na mamba, tuko na tortoise. In the same time, unaweza kuwa na fun as a family. So don't forget, mark your calendar on this month, date 28, ambayo itakuwa na Friday. Tutakuwa na show babu kubwa. Show yenyewe itakuwa ni chill party and talent show audition humu ndani ya Camel Park, the bride of Kisii.
Eastlands, yo, we had the mic. Westlands, yo, we had the mic.
Naam, ni wakati wa kusikiza sauti inayobeba maono, busara na hali halisi ya kisiasa humu nchini. Karibu katika kipindi Sauti ya Uongozi. Hapa tutakuwa tunazungumza na viongozi kujieleza katika hali halisi ya yale ambayo waliahidi kuyafanya, na bila shaka kukupa wewe mtazamaji nafasi ya kuzungumza kama mwananchi wa kawaida kwa yale ambayo waliahidi kuyafanya katika maendeleo humu nchini.
But after making the payment, they delete it. Now, what kind of accounting is that? Because you are supposed to maintain the details of whoever you paid so that the figures can balance.
Watu ambao wanafanyiwa sio kwamba ni wale wananchi wote ambao wako pale wanafanyiwa ile funding. Ni makundi haswa. Na zile pesa kufika katika makundi ikamfikia mwananchi yule ambaye alikuwa anachangiwa akapata kiasi kidogo cha pesa. Ina maana kule kuzurula, ule msururu wa kuzunguka inakuwa ni kama ni null and void kwa mwananchi, anaiona kwamba analagaiwa.
If you graduated in 2016 and somebody graduated in 2020, the 2016 was to be given priority to get that job. But nowadays, members of parliament have taken over. They get the letters, they dish them in funerals, others they sell them to the highest bidder.
Kila wiki tutakuletea mahojiano ya kina na viongozi kutoka sekta mbalimbali na jamii kwa ujumla. Je, unajiuliza maswali ni kipi ambacho kinajiri nyuma ya pasia la uongozi? Basi hapa ndipo unapaswa kukaa mkao wa kutazama na kusikiza. Usikose Sauti ya Uongozi kila siku ya Jumamosi kuanzia saa 1 jioni hadi saa 3 jioni. Ndani ya Ndizi TV Africa, nami Jeff Nyakundi. Sauti ya Uongozi. Tunazungumza, tunajenga, tunabadilika.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Africa.
Welcome back to Ndizi TV News at 9, and thank you for staying with Ndizi TV Africa. Moving on with our bulletin, political temperatures are rising in Nyamira County after Bonyamatuta Ward Member of Parliament, Member of County Assembly Julius Matwere tabled a fresh motion seeking the removal of Governor Amos Nyaribo from office. The motion presented to the County Assembly this morning, his third attempt in 2 years. Matwere accuses the governor of violating the law and abusing his authority. The assembly is now expected to debate the charges tomorrow, setting the stage for a tense showdown that could once again test the county's political stability.
Julius Kimomi Matwere, Member of County Assembly, representing Bonyamatuta, filed Gazette Notice number 231 of 14th November 2025. The Honorable Matwere.
I wish to give notice of motion for removal of Honorable Amos Kimomi Nyaribo, the Governor of Nyamira County from office by way of impeachment on the following grounds. Number 1, gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya and other laws. And 2, abuse of office. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order. Next order.
Adjournment.
Honorable members, the House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 18th November 2025 at exactly 9:30 a.m.
Elsewhere, the national government is proposing new tax measures targeting youth-owned startups in a move officials say that will help streamline compliance and also boost economic growth. Susan Mangeni, the PS for Cooperatives and MSME Development, said consultations are underway to simplify legal requirements and lower licensing costs for budding entrepreneurs. According to the ministry, the plan is to create a more enabling business environment by reducing bureaucratic hurdles and supporting young innovators as they build small enterprises.
Having those conversations, and that's why on the day of disbursement we want to create a forum that brings together the leaders from both the county governments and the national governments to look at how best can we create a conducive and an enabling business environment where these young entrepreneurs, remember there are going to be young entrepreneurs coming in, they will not be scared, they'll be encouraged.
Ni kampuni gani ingependa mtu ambayo ana insight watu? Ni kampuni gani angependa mtu ambayo ni wa matusi? Kwa hivyo pia watumie simu yao vizuri the young people so that they do not find themselves in trouble in future.
And now winding up from the education sector, the Kenyan families can now mark their calendars as the government confirms that results for the 2025 Grade 9 KJCR transition examinations will be released on December 11th. Basic Education PS Julius Bitok made the announcement while overseeing the opening of KCSE exam containers in Kikuyu earlier today. He noted that school placement for the more than 1.1 million Kenyan candidates will follow a week later, with admission letters issued before Christmas. Bitok assured parents that the transition to senior secondary schools scheduled for January 19th will be seamless and reaffirmed that the government's free education policy remains intact despite an unprecedented 3.4 million exam candidates this year.
We expect them to get their letters before Christmas. And we expect them to report on the 12th of January. That is the plan. All our learners will continue enjoying free primary education, free day secondary education, and the policy has not changed. Let me make that very, very clear. We are still offering free, and there's no change in fees whatsoever. And if there will be any change in fees, which the government will announce.
Now that brings us to the end of our bulletin, Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. tonight. My name is Chemutai Kirui and my director has been Lucas Ouma. Continue staying with Ndizi TV Africa for more updates on the national matters happening in the country and beyond our borders, and also for more entertainment programs. Until next time, have a good night and take care.